Hello everybody, I am Paul with many voices and welcome back to Violent City, my prison architect all DLC Archipelago, where we just had a bit of violence over here. And you may think that's a tunnel, but that's probably just some contraband. But yeah, we had a bit of violence. The last episode of this facility, the prison really became alive. Don't pay attention to this. I am rerouting some power by adding more power generation to it. In the meantime, this footbridge was broken because footbridges are broken, so I've replaced them now with lily pads. Because the corpse of the guy, the protective custody guy that was murdered in the last episode, was still remaining over here, and now that's gone. Okay, so I didn't change that just yet either. Yeah, sadly I had to do a retake of this. I was already done recording, but then something else happened. I also forgot to do this, so we'll get to that later down the line. First, I really need this done, and I do hope you don't hear the music from downstairs. The neighbors are probably deaf. Bunch of assholes downstairs. So, here's to you, neighbor. Fuck you. Right, our new inmates. I don't think I see any... Nope. Not anyone that is super dangerous. Except, of course, this guy. Our mega legendary guy. And our... that guy. So, a couple things happened in between. I reset all of the programs. I gave the staff a pay cut, so that now their pay rise is only 9%. And thus my daily cash flow is lower. What else did I do? We are still 100 hours away from being able to do overproduction again. Perfectly fine. I wanted to look at prisoners. Mr. Newell is released. He wanted to transfer. He never got the chance. And it seems that only Mr. Raza over here. Raza. Oh. Can I see your profile? Workshop safety induction. Yeah, you don't think you're gonna succeed. But oh well. So yeah. Some more violence. There were some deaths. But I guess that the prisoner who murdered also got murdered. Because there's still only one guy. Mr. Welch. Wait. Welch? Duncan Welch. And Ian Welch. Ah, so that's what happened. We had two Welches. Probably brothers. You have a brother? No, just a father. But, yeah. They died. They died. They did. This prison became alive with the transfers and the murder, and people having to be brought into protective custody. Things are happening. And of course we had the wall that has now already been replaced. So things are going well. Christopher Wagstaff and Christopher Waterhouse are only two death row inmates. At least you're not hungry. You're not hungry either. Let me show you what I've done in terms of the regime for SuperMax. I am extremely nasty. They get 3 hours of sleep. Then they need to go into the yard for 2 hours before they get sleep for 2 more hours. A shower, then some more yard, then lock up, work lock up, yard, work lock up, eat only 1 time per day, work lock up, yard, free time, lock up, yard, sleep. Yes, I'm forcing them to wake up in the middle of the night to go into the yard. They only eat 1 time per day. They have to spend a lot of time in the yard. And the rest, if they don't work, they're in their cell. I'm just being mean. Very, very, very mean. And I love it. So you're still 40 hours in solitary for the murder, attack staff, and another murder, attack prisoner, and serious injury, plus 2 more. That was definitely a more than 2 days worth of lockup. So I do hope that they finish this quickly. Please and thank you. I did prioritize all of this. So now we have lily pads over here instead. And, well, I think I'm gonna bring you guys back into tomorrow then. In between, I'm gonna sort this island out because I already know how I want to do that. So, I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, welcome back. Luckily, the power got reconnected eventually. This is how the graveyard island looks now. I had to remove 1 grave in order to make it perfect. I added some more farming stuff over here, more crops, because some of them just weren't regrowing, some of them weren't even being fertilized. And we have 2 more maximum security prisoners coming in. So yeah, you're pretty pissed off because you need clothing and spirituality and food and such. Perfectly fine. 2 guys, let's see. Fearless, gang member, and tough. So now we have 1 red gang member, 2 green, and 2 blue. No leaders just yet. Anything else happened in the meantime? Ah, Mr. Rosa. Oh, no. Mr. Rosa. Why? Where are you? There you are. Let's see. Recent misconduct. Experience. Intoxication and found weapons. Well, for some reason that does warrant you to get back into maximum security, but or medium security. But now that I know that you're a troublemaker, I'm not gonna let ya. You're gonna have to start over. 5 days. So day 207. Then you're allowed to go back into medium security. And this is the beauty of my countermeasures, as they're called, for the cleared for transfer, where in my policy, since he was caught with weapons and intoxicated, he loses the privilege to his high quality cell, and that is now being reset to 0, if I'm not mistaken. So that means that if I tell you to go into this cell, well, you are working in the library, I think. No? Wait, you are not Rosa. Where's Rosa? Let's see, where are you going? Rosa, I want you in, no, this cell over here. If I'm not mistaken, he should not be designated to that cell manually. You're working. You're in here. That's not what I want. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, so I did a bit of terraforming down here. I need symmetry in my life, damn it. So Sumi. Just a little bit of symmetry. Symmetry, come on. Cemetery? This is the cemetery. I mean cemetery. Either way, well, do we have more criminally insane? Nope. Still Mr. Welch. And no one else in protective custody. Now I know for a fact, but I still want to showcase. I need 3 more psychiatric sessions done before I can implement the regular leather sofa inside of here. And I'm gonna place it behind here, and then remove this sofa, and then move them forward by 1. And then 30 more for the medicine cabinet, 23 more for the Rorschach test, and 33 more for the flipboard, and then 43 more for the anatomy model. We have a death. Killed? Okay. Oh. This is why it's dangerous to have a flowery field in here. I was about to say, don't tell me it's Rosa. But no, armed guard with shotgun. Sadly, that means that I will have to replace 1 orderly. But since I like numbers that are either 10 or 15, I don't have enough money to complete that. But I will fire 1 of ye. There. And we have a riot underway right over here. Somebody tried to escape. Yeah, we had 9 deaths. Staff morale is high, luckily. Well, we did lose a couple of prisoners. Do I mind? No. Come on! What the hell are you doing? Now you're a SuperMax as well. Oh, but that's perfectly fine. Mr. Welch was getting a little lonely. But all of these were murdered, killed by, oh, a rival gang member. Armed guard with a shotgun. Oh, now this is interesting. So he was a gang member, but I sadly cannot see which gang he was a member of. Probably the Green Gang, because I believe they had 2 members. And as you can see, the Blue Gang now has 1 member killed. Oh, what's this? Okay, I know what I need. Wait, I have them already here. Do I need them then? Not really. But I was about to say, I need some metal detectors over here. But I have them in here and in here. The only way's into the cell. Where the hell did you get your stuff? Doesn't make sense. Either way, I'm fine with it. So we had a little bit of violence, and a little bit of death. And I'm okay with that. And I guess that, well, I'm gonna see you at the start of day 203, unless something else happens. Okay, it looks like the chief wants to tell me something. Let's see. According to some of our guards, a new radio host on the station, the prisoners listen to has been saying a lot of things that are riling the inmates up. It might be worth removing the radios for the time being, unless they start to take what he's saying seriously. Now, this is an event that I always ignore. Because I have radios in all of the cells, or most of the cells, or some of the cells, it just becomes a bit of a clusterfuck. So, I don't really want to deal with it. But what I am going to do, since I now have a bit of extra space over here, is, if I can find it, some nice leather sofas. Oh, just one here. Just one. Nice leather sofa in here. What I did as well in between, I remembered from the previous attempt recording, is that I removed the larger serving table here, and I replaced it with a small one, added a small table, added a small bench, and even a tray dispenser. In the... Why are you here? You're stationed here. Okay. In the medium security canteen, and I added this a small serving table in the protective custody one, as well as 4 cacti, because I remembered that I did already put in a window inside of this one, so I thought for a second there that the... No, I did say logistics. Thank you. The room quality of having no windows was sorted out, but it wasn't, so adding 4 plants instead of the drinks machine will have to be the way to go to get this back up to 4 points. That was it basically. See you in a second. Alright, bringing you guys back. Well, 11 maximum security prisoners are gonna be coming in. Let's hope that these get dumped and eventually that the bags will get removed. I doubt it though. Still hear a lot of tasers. A lot of people have serious complaints, etc. But here they are. Alec Walker, you're just a very special guy. This person paid a lot of money in the early pre-alpha or alpha days to get a special character with clothes on and a special face in the game. I want to see. Instigator. Yeah. I'm guessing no protective custody people just yet. Normally I will leave my instigators inside of their cells all day long, but honestly, I think it'll be a little bit more fun to do it this way. So that's why I'm gonna do it this way. Ah, yeah, Steph. Gonna... let's see, what did I need it again? 2 more farmers. I'll get 1 more doctor. And I'll hire 5 more workmen. There. Okay. Ah ha ha ha. Look at that, Christopher Wagstaff. I'm gonna bring you guys in for tonight at least. First, of course, let's look at the transfers. The prisoners. Thank you. No, you're not going. You're not going. And it seems... Oh, we have 3 people in SuperMax. And it seems that one was very sorry for killing somebody you were, because you want to transfer back into maximum security. Well, that's gonna take 10 days. Of which, well, you're gonna still serve 1 hour in solitary, so you're gonna have a bit of fun. I thought I took care of some of the stuff in here, but apparently not everything. So let me get some corn. And some high quality fertilizer. Oh, high quality fertilizer. Okay. So I guess I'll see you guys tonight at around 11 when prisoners are forced into bed. See you guys in a second. Alright, I'm gonna bring you guys in a little earlier than 11 o'clock because I'm gonna show you, after they've eaten, at least these guys have, how I approach an execution. You may decide to do it differently. This is the way that I do it. So, yeah, let me... Oh, I don't have the money for that, silly. Of course I don't. As you can see, I can't place any more gravestones, despite the fact that I still have 20 available. But, oh well, I'll accept it. Right. 10 o'clock. I'm gonna start with a bang up. All sectors. Everyone is gonna go into their cell now. And you don't really have to do it this way, because the first step of the execution will be a bang up. It's just called a prison-wide lockdown. But this is a way to start early, start good, without interfering too much with their daily routine. Also, if you're working with cell quality like I am, you can see that prisoners inside of the holding cell will have the text, all of the quality cells are too high for this quality for this prisoner. Meaning that this guy recently did something and he is entitled to a quality 0 cell, but there are none available. So, sleep time. Mr. Wagstaff, prisoner number 10083912, convicted of murder, grievous bodily harm, aggravated assault. Yeah. Sentenced to 83 years if you would have been granted clemency to serve your sentence in maximum security. Sadly, for you, that is, you've failed all of your death row appeals, and now your likelihood of clemency is below the state-approved conviction strength of 10%. It is time for the execution. Now, I'm gonna record this first execution, as I've mentioned before, slowly, step by step. And I'm gonna give you something special on top of that as well. So, the first is the initiation of the prison-wide lockdown after you've initiated the execution. So this is the bang-up that I did already. And that is why you do that, so that usually it just instantly completes. Now, test the facility. The final test to pass. To ensure everything is working. The electrical supply to the chair is tested under load. If I can actually learn how to read this time. The final route to the prisoner, of the prisoner is planned out. He must be able to walk to the execution room himself. And that is why I put the execution chamber pretty much always straight in front of the prisoner so that they don't have to walk too far. Also, they get a front row seat, which you get to the execution. However, in between the update of cleared for transfer and going green, the developers changed something, and I do not agree with this change. Previously, once you would test the facility, the chair would turn on automatically and see if you would have enough power. However, now it doesn't. And I mentioned before that I recorded this, well, the episode number 6, but I actually went ahead and recorded a bunch more because I was so excited for this. Back when I was still called the one with many voices. So when I did that, this actually baffled me to hell and back, to a point where I thought I need more power. They've upped the power consumption of the chair to the maximum. So eventually I just had this power station filled up with 16 capacitors, and it still didn't work. And it frustrated me to hell and back. Until I did this. Switch on. And now I test. And suddenly it works. And once that is completed, the chair will switch off again. And it'll be back to normal. And now once you do actually hit the execution, then the chair will turn on by itself. So I don't know why they made this change. It's stupid. Ever since they introduced, ever since intro version introduced a properly working execution facility, it's always been the old way. Always that testing the facility will turn on the chair itself. But now all of a sudden Double 11 messed it up. And people get angry, I got angry, I complained, people complained. So I do hope that in the next update, whenever they do it, I honestly hope they don't update, other than just bug fixes, then they will fix it. So, next step. Assemble execution detail. The warden, the chief, make their way to the condemned inmate cell. In addition, the priest of a spiritual leader of the prisoner's choice arrives on site to visit the prisoner in his cell to say final prayers. However, this last part is not true. But maybe just for an island-bound prison, I don't know. Because once I activate this, only the chief and the warden will make their way to here. No visitors, no priest will come in for this prisoner. So my original idea was that this office would be temporary and placed probably down here, alongside with this office for the chief. And then I would probably add a classroom here as well for the Gartese certification that I now have over here. But since this pretty much works out, I don't have to add too much more land to this, because I did want to have a little bit of open space and open sea. I just left it as is. It kind of works. It just takes a little while. So, somehow you died? What did you die to? Overdose. Okay. That is perfectly fine. So the chief is here already. Savannah Nova is on their way. There she is. Yeah, now you have to experience the misery yourself. You're gonna have to do it every single time. Nice walk through the mud, nice and slow. Gonna open that for you. And in the meantime, escort witnesses to facility. The witnesses to the execution arrive on site and make the way to the execution facility. The group includes family members of the condemned inmate, but also members of the victim's family, and the priest. They arrive by boat. Here they are. Also a thing to note, the maximum allowed speed for execution is speed 2. You can do speed 1, but speed 2, just to speed it up. And we have a Hindu priest, I guess. So before going green, maybe on just regular prisons, the priest will come in before with the chief and the warden. Also, the music is just eerie, and I love it. So we've got the witnesses. You want a front row seat, huh? The victim's family, the ex-wife, and the victim's family. Now we escort the prisoner to the facility. The condemned inmate is escorted from his cell to the execution facility. The warden, chief, and priest accompany him. This is not the Green Mile, not the Rusty Mile, but the Rusty 5 yards. And now, the execution. What's this? 3D. That's right, you're gonna get a front row seat to the execution. Sadly, due to the fact that I'm in this mode, this happens. So I'm gonna have to act quickly. Execution with everyone in place and the procedure followed. The final authorization for the execution is given. Christopher Wagstaff, we've done everything in our power to help you prove your innocence, but you're guilty as charged. Farewell. Farewell. No. Farewell. And then eerie silence. Dismiss staff and witnesses. The staff and witnesses are dismissed and may leave the facility. Goodbye, get out. See you next time. This is purely because it's 3D. There you go. And the final report, with the execution completed, a report is compiled and your performance is graded. The mandated execution of Christopher Wagstaff was carried out at 8:17 in the morning as scheduled by the electric chair in the presence of witnesses. The standard compensation of 10,000 is awarded to the institution for their part in this process. And that is why I waited until his likelihood of clemency was below the state approved conviction strength of 10. So, yeah. However, what the hell is this? I hear you asking. 3D vote in prison architect? No way in hell. Actually, yes way in hell. But as you see, a lot of the stuff hasn't even been made into 3D. Look at that helicopter. Look at the ferry, look at the buoys, look at the garbage bins. Fun fact, since I've been playing Prison Architect since 2014, I was there when it was discovered that this mode existed. And apparently, this mode has existed for the longest time. But the developers just never mentioned it. How do you get this? In extras, below load escape attempt, you see this little pie symbol. You hit that, you switch between 2D and 3D. However, one complaint I do have, and this does not go to just Double 11, but also Introversion, since Introversion did say at that time that they had absolutely no intention to render all of the sprites into 3D. And also, what the... Look at all these staff meals. Look. Gonna dump them all. Look at how buggy this is. Fucking hell. But yeah, the devs at Introversion Software never really had the intention of fully rendering everything into 3D. They said that modders were allowed to do that. Probably some modders did. But honestly, I'm of the opinion, if you do something, do it right or don't do it at all. Don't deliver a product halfway completed. And here he is, Christopher Wagstaff, being taken away to the hearse boat over there. And we're done. There you go. So yeah, but I do hope that you've enjoyed that little session here. I see that I still need to set this to grass. This to grass. Or sand. That too. Perfect. So, yeah. With that, I am going to add 2 more solar wind hybrids over here. And over here. I still don't understand why these are different colors, why they're not connected. But I'm gonna just say, glitchy game is glitchy. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. The next executions, all of them that follow this one, will be sped up, and I'll explain in time how I'll do that. My name is Paul with many voices. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Where, oh, it seems that Mr. Thomas is alone. Well, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.